Hey, 7th grade. This is the video lesson for Wednesday, September 2nd. I just wanted to give you a couple quick reminders. First one, please go to Hack and check your grades. If anything's in there as a 0, if you click classes and go to world history, if anything's in there as a 0, that means you have not sent it to me yet or you haven't given it to me yet. So please get it to me as soon as possible so I get that in your grade and get it updated for you. We do have a test coming up on Friday, which I'll talk about in another minute or two. Kind of some things to help you get set up and so you can study for the test. And I think that might be the last of the reminders. But I did want to post this video in case something happened with your Wi-Fi and went out for a bit, or you had a doctor's appointment or something like that. You get caught up. So if you go to 7th grade World History on Canvas, click on Modules, and you go to week 2. Remember, week 1, if you go to week 1 and go to the assignments for that first week, you can catch up on anything you're missing. But if you go to the assignments for week 2, and you scroll down, there's lots of things to help you with the test. So sorry. There's a Kahoot. There's some Nearpods. I'm going to post another one there. There's a study guide. Okay, lots of things to help you with the test. That's going to be Friday. If you need a paper copy of the test, please talk to me before you leave school, or email me if you need help with that. That way I can get you whatever you need. But as far as what we did today, September 2nd, we did the grapes of me and we did the grapes of the United States. So if we click on this link, it's going to open up ClassKick. Now, there's also paper copies in my room, so if you wanted one of those, okay, you can use one of those. But if you want to do it virtually, this is ClassKick. So we kind of went down through and did the grapes of me, and then we also did the grapes of the United States. Okay, so let's start with the grapes of me first. Basically what you do is you put your name here. Please put full name first and last. That way I can get you points, because I do have some kids with repeat names, so please first and last. I understand that these boxes aren't super big, but you can adjust the size of the font and the color as well. Okay, once you start typing, okay, you can kind of highlight it. You can plus or minus, make this font smaller. You can also change the color if you want. Okay, but basically go through geography of you. So where were you born? Where have you lived before? Where's somewhere you want to go someday? And you answer these questions in POQ. Okay, remember that's part of the question. So I need full sentences, and I do need part of the question. Otherwise, I'll return it to you and you got to redo it. Religion. So what do you believe in? Is it a specific religion? Is it more of a set of spiritual beliefs? Is it more of a moral code? Is there a building you go to practice your religion? Do you pray? Do you sing? What do you do for your religion? Does it change the way you live, impact your life at all? Okay. Achievements. And for this one, especially if you're not quite sure, talk to your family. Okay. A lot of times people's religion is tied into their family, so talk to your family members. Achievements. What have you achieved? What have you accomplished in your life? What are your goals? What are your plans? What are you going to do in the future? If you click over to the next slide, you'll have the P, E, and S. Politics. So, how do you feel about rules? Why are they necessary? What makes a great leader? Who should be in charge? How should somebody become leader? This will help form your political beliefs. Economics. Do you earn money? Do you have an allowance? Do you have a job? What do you do with your money? If you don't have money, what would you do if you had it? Who in your family makes the money decisions? And then finally, social structure. So in your family, who's in charge? Are there roles that each family member have? Is each person kind of responsible for something different, or does everybody do things together? Those kind of things. So that's the grapes of me, and remember, since it's on ClassKick, it will automatically save and send it to me. And then if you have a paper copy, just give that to me as next time you see me, or you can always take a picture and email it to me. We did the grapes of the United States, which we'll just talk a little bit about. So we talked about geography, absolute location. We talked a little bit about, hey, here's a map, we can point to it. Here's the lines of longitude and latitude. We used some relative location. We said it's in North America. It's right below Canada, right above Mexico. It's in between the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean. We talked about all the different regions, the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, the West Coast. We talked about the East Coast Appalachian Mountains. We talked about the South and how it's hot and swampy. We talked about what people do for fun in different regions. So lots of things we can talk about geography there for the United States. We talked about religion, how the United States has freedom of religion. And so there's no specific official religion for the United States. That the 5 major religions are pretty popular in the United States. Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. I think that's all 5. If I missed one, forgive me. But we also talked about how there's lots of other types of religions in the United States too, and there's religious freedom. Okay? We talked about achievements of the United States, being the first to the moon. We talked about some of the monuments that we've built down in D.C., the Lincoln Memorial. We have the Washington Monument. We have the St. Louis Arch. Okay, lots of things that we've achieved. We talked a little bit about different wars that we had, the Revolutionary War, where we got our independence. We talked about World War II. We were part of the Allies. And so we talked about all kinds of different achievements, and we could probably go on and on and on for achievements for the United States. So brainstorm those a little bit. We talked about politics, how we kind of have political freedom and you can choose, whatever political ideas you have, but how in the United States we have a republic or a representative democracy. So we vote for our leaders and then they make rules and decisions for us. We talked about how there's many different political parties, but kind of 2 major ones, Republicans and Democrats, and some of the differences there. We did talk about economics, how the United States has one of the largest economies in the world, that we have some manufacturing jobs where we're building things and making things. We also have some agricultural jobs where we're farming. We have jobs that are considered white-collar jobs, meaning people go to office buildings and they work via the internet or people in person that way. So we just have a very big and diverse economy. We talked about social structure and how this one is kind of tied to your culture, and that there's lots of different cultures in the United States. That our Constitution guarantees the equality of every adult citizen in the United States, and that there's certain rights that protect them. We also did talk about how historically those rights are not always equally protected, and that how it's not, even though maybe legally things are supposed to be pretty fair and equal in the United States, that that doesn't always mean the laws are enforced that way. So sometimes it doesn't happen that way, and that's why right now we see a lot of people fighting for social justice and change, trying to make the system even more fair and more equal. But then also, like, this can be different family to family. The social structure can be different based on your culture, or maybe where your family came from before they settled in the United States, because the United States is a nation of immigrants, people coming from other places. So that's kind of what we talked about today. The Grapes of the United States, Grapes of Me. Make sure you get that Grapes of Me sent to me or handed to me the next day or two so I can get that in the grade book for you. Check out all those links to everything to help you study for the test. And if you need help with any of that, please, please, please let me know. All right, folks, have a good one.